24 hours, well, yeah, 12 hours, so 24 hours, was how to monitor a baby while it's still in the mother, externally and internally. Also, there's 2 ways to perform a C-section, which I got to witness one way, which was really interesting. And then also the reasons for a C-section. There's 4 main reasons, and then the exercises women can and cannot do while pregnant. And then also I got to give 2 babies their first baths and do their prenups. And so this is the monitoring. This is going to be the external. So the woman, what we do is like, she literally looks like a mummy after we get done with her. But we take bandages with like, stethoscopes that they use to do your heart. Well, they do bigger ones on their stomachs, and out in where the nurses sit and just like wait until the patients need something. They have about 8 different big screen TVs with just those running on them for each patient, for each woman in labor. And so this is going to be the baby's heart rate, the respiration rate, oxygen level, and it depends on these dips. If it's going to be lower, like this one is, we have to call the doctor up because something's going wrong with the baby. So that happened a couple times. That was really scary. And then this one's going to be the internal monitor. That one's a little bit more difficult to get. We actually have to put the stethoscope up into the woman because we usually do that when we can't get good measures with the external one. So, yeah. And this is going to be the C-section. So the woman is either going to have a vertical incision or a horizontal one, which goes right underneath the belly button. This is going to be the 4 main reasons why a woman will have to have a C-section. Doctors actually prefer women to give vaginal birth, not C-sections. But so the baby is supposed to come out head first, and if the baby is not and its back is coming out first, that's one of the reasons. That's called a transverse position. And then if the placenta is about to rupture and the mother can't physically give birth to the baby, she'll have to have a C-section. And then if the baby's bottom is going to come out first, that's also a C-section. And then if the placenta is coming out before the baby is, it's also another reason. Okay, so in neuro-ortho, these are all the dates that I did the 12-hour shifts for throughout the night. It was 6:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. This was at St. Anthony's Hospital. This was Lindsay Pavlovsky. So here I learned how to insert and what a PICC line is, what a PEG tube and a PPG tube is, the levels of the different strokes that people have when, there's 5 different levels that people can have, and then what, certain words mean, if they have a facial droop, or if they're NOP, which is you can't feed them by mouth because they physically, the stroke has affected them to the point where they can't even swallow, and they would, if they were to eat or drink anything, it would go into their lungs. Okay, so this is going to be the PEG and the J-tube. So when a person has a severe enough stroke and they can't eat orally or by themselves, we go in, well, the doctors do, and they insert either a G-tube, which is a tube that goes into their stomach, and they feed them through that tube, or they're going to put the J-tube, which goes into the small intestine, and they feed them through that tube. And then this is going to be the PICC line. A PICC line is, I'm sure a lot of you have had, if you've been to the emergency room, a IV. Well, this IV is going to go up through their arm and into their heart valve, just so they can pull medicine or blood quicker and more accurate because it's oxygenated and in the heart. Also, it delivers medicine way faster because the heart's going to pump it out instead of it waiting to get through the veins. Okay, story time. Okay. So, labor and delivery. First night, our first patient that I met, first time having a baby, she's 35. She delivers in 3 hours. That's rare. It usually takes 17 or more to be in labor. I get there, I meet her, introduce myself. She had just gotten admitted like 10 minutes before Lindsay Binkley and I had got there. And she got her epidural. And then the doctor, actually, there was one doctor on duty that night, and then he went down to the ICU because he had a pregnant lady who had been in a car accident, and he went down there to just see how things were. And we go in to check on our patient, and she's dilated all the way, and she starts pushing, and we're like, please don't push, please stop. The doctor is like 3 floors down, so she couldn't really hold it. So Lindsay, I had to hold up the woman's feet. The husband, freaking out, was not helpful. And Lindsay literally like throws on gloves and was like ready to catch the baby. And we had the other nurses like calling the doctor and like.
That's your first name?
Yeah, first patient too. We had the other nurses like trying to get hold of the doctor, and he made it just in time. He literally got in, got wrapped up, and the baby was already like halfway out, and we were just like, oh my god. After the baby was delivered, she delivered the placenta like right after. It was just like done. We were just like, well, I was like, I hope if I have a baby, that's how it goes, because that was easy. And then I got to clean off the baby, give it its first bath, and prenups, which is where you physically have to like touch every part of the baby to make sure all the bones feel right. Have to check up their nose, their ears, down their throats, make sure they don't have any fluid, feel their head for any like abnormalities, all that stuff, and then you get to measure them and fit in their little baby book, and then do their footprint, which like kind of screwed up on, which kind of got smeared in the go. Sorry. Well, after that, this one woman, she wasn't Lindsay and I's patient, but she had just had a baby, and they wanted me to go in and give him his prenup. And when I went in there, she hemorrhaged. Now that's when, after having a baby, the mother starts bleeding.